Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time on this channel, you are welcome. I am A.H.P. I'm an author and I also do business. Now today's video is basically me showing you guys crops that I didn't know had edible plants. If you follow me on my social media platform, you know that I have a food store called A.H.P food store, and I have that page on Facebook as well as Instagram, so you can go and follow that page for everything to do with growing your own food and seasoning herbs and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, now so I'm going to be showing you some of the crops that I already grow, some of the seasoning herbs that I already grow that has edible flowers, and I didn't know had edible flowers. Okay, so the first one being sage. Okay, now it doesn't have flowers because it has just germinated. If you've probably watched my video, my last video, which is a typical day, my typical mompreneur day, mompreneur routine, sorry, is on that. You know that it's just germinated. So when this grows, you can actually eat the flowers. Okay, the flowers are edible, and I'm going to share with you quickly from here because I did my research, okay, on edible flowers, because I want to create a productive garden, guys. A productive garden. I'll share with you guys about that in another video. But yeah, let me show you the info that I want to share with you. Let me find where sage is. So basically it's here. Okay, that is how the flowers look. Okay, this one here, up here, sorry, this one here, the one I'm pointing on. Okay, it's purpley. Okay, so sage has deep blue flowers of sage, okay, which is known as officinalis, okay. Add an interesting mild sage flavor or sage flavor to salads or savory dishes, okay. So you can either use it in salads, okay, to have that sage flavor, a mild sage flavor, or you can add it to your savory dishes. So savory dishes are basically food that is not sweet. So things like your meat, your meat and pasta, your meat and potatoes, things like your meat and rice, and all of that. Basically foods that are not sweet. Okay. Okay. So it says pull individual flower tubes from the stems and use with discretion. Basically use to your taste, basically, as the taste is strong. So sage has a very strong taste, so just use sparingly. Okay, so you take it from the stem here. Okay, so the next crops that I didn't know that has edible flowers is mint. Okay, all varieties of mint. So I've got a pot of mint here. So I've got my mint here. It hasn't flowered yet, okay, but I thought it was very interesting. If you want to know how I use my mint, check out the video on my channel that shows you how I use my mint. But let me put this back on my window where it's seated. Okay, before I do that, let me water it a little bit because it's dry. Okay, I thought while I'm there I take the next plant. So let's find it on here. Okay, so this one hasn't, so this is mint. Okay, so this is the information I'm going to be sharing with you, and theirs has not germinated either yet, but it says all mint varieties, which is known as mentha SPP, have minty flavored edible flowers that may be sweet or lemon scented. Okay, so the mint can be either, the mint flowers can either be sweet or lemon scented, so you'll be smelling like lemon basically, or even chocolate overtones, so you can have a chocolatey kind of taste. Okay, depending on the type. So it depends on the type of mint that you have. Okay, that you're growing. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is my rosemary here. Okay, now I've got a few that I need to pluck off. It's not flowered yet, okay, but I need to pluck off a few of these dry bits. Okay, I'm gonna wash it and use it. I'm gonna put it on the side for now. Okay, I'll use this root. That's the thing with doing gardening, you have to literally keep tending to it. I harvested quite a bit from it. This is not. Okay. So that is that. Okay, so let me give you the information on how to use rosemary flower. Okay. Okay. So the information is here. So that is that's how the rosemary flowers look. Okay. So rosemary, it takes nimble fingers to pull the strongly scented flowers of rosemary. So you have to have strength, like careful hands basically. Okay. Rosemary, which is known as Rosmarinus officinalis. Okay, so that's another, it sounds Spanish. It sounds Spanish to me. From between the lightly packed leaves. So because the leaves are so packed together, as you've seen it, you have to carefully, like you have to have careful fingers, okay, to pluck out the flowers. Okay, both are similar in flavors. Oh, so it's rosemary and rosmarinalis, which is another type of rosemary, basically. Okay, the leaves contain. Wait, let me. The leaves contain more oil than the flowers. Okay, so the leaves of the rosemary contains more flavor than the flowers, more oil than the flowers, but both are similar in flavor. Oh, so it's the same basically rosemary. So both the leaves and the flower are similar in flavor. Okay, use the flowers as you would the herb. So the same way you use your herb, the rosemary and the, what's it called, the leaves. Okay, the rosemary leaf is the same way you'd use the flowers. Personally, I use my rosemary in my meat. I use in my chicken to make my stews. I used, so So like, yeah, you can. I use it in my pasta sauce to make pasta sauce, or even spaghetti to make spaghetti bolognese sauce. Basically, the base of it. Um, the flowers are deep blue to pink depending on the soil. So it depends on where you grow them and the soil that you, depending on the soil that you grow them in. Um, I grow mine in normal compost and it is in pots, as you have seen. So you'd use it the same way. So if you use them in your stews, if you use them in your, you can use that also in your, to infuse your oils, okay, your oils, yeah, so you can do that. Okay, let's go to the next one. What other what other crop do we grow that has edible flowers? Oh yes, it is mhm, mhm. Chives, okay, chives. That is the leaves for chives, okay? That is the flowers for chives, and that's the information I'll be sharing with you. So, let me show you my chives. Okay. Now, it hasn't fully grown. Don't mind this one. This is an onion that I need to take out now because it's done its time. Um, that's a spring onion, by the way. That is now old. Uh, it's done its time. So, I'll leave the space. So, um, so yeah, so that is my chives. Okay, let me water it a little bit. Okay, so let's share that information. That one hasn't flowered because it's only been a few weeks since it germinated, so it takes quite a while to grow and mature. So the flowers of chives, which is also known as allium sconoprasum, are ball-like clusters of hundreds of little florets, okay, flower heads basically, that can be separated and scattered onto salad for color and a mild onion flavor. So basically you can use the flowers from your chives to florets for the flower heads from your chives to decorate your, sorry, yeah, to decorate your salad for color if you want extra color on your salad, and also for a mild onion flavor. So if you want, you made a salad and you may not have onions, or you want an onion flavor but you don't really like the strong, ordinary onions, whether it's the red onions or the white onions in your salad, you can just use the floret from your chives, which I am looking forward to using because I like to make omelette with onions, but I don't always like chunky onions in my what's it called, uh, omelette. Okay, which is eggs, basically with extra um, stuff, ingredients in there. Okay, so the next one is basil. Okay, so that is how the basil looks like. Basil flowers looks like. Okay, now I have a tub of basil that has just grown. Normally I use plug plant basil, but I've used all of it now, so I don't have anyone anymore. I've just decided to grow my own since it's the growing season. Okay, so that is that. That's how our basil looks like. It hasn't what's it called, fully matured to bring forth the flowers, but it will do. And so how can you use Basil flowers. So most growers use basil leaves. So they use the leaves. I normally use the leaves as a grower, um, which is known as, the basil is also known as Ocimum basilicum. Okay, Ocimum basilicum. Before the plant has flowered, okay, so they normally use the leaves before the plant basically has flowered. Okay, so that's what I normally do. After blooming, the character of the leaves change and becomes less appealing. So it stops looking nice after it's flowered. Okay, because it changes. Um, what's it called? But the flowers can be eaten, so you can eat the flowers. Okay. Um, okay. So how do you use it? So they may be white to lavender, but they look stunning when sprinkled over pasta. So you can sprinkle it over pasta. We like pasta in this house, so that is what I'm going to be using mine for. Thai basil, which is also is sometimes what's it called, allowed to flower before whole stems with leaves attached are harvested. Okay, sometimes. Okay, the whole flower is edible, so you can eat the whole flower. You don't have to take any part of the flower off, so you can eat the whole flower. So yeah, nice, nice. I'll be using that in my pasta. So have I got any more? Any more crops at the moment that has edible flowers? No, I don't. Okay, I don't have any more flowers. Edible crops with edible flowers. I don't have any more at the moment. No, I don't. I don't. Normally, I grow coriander, which also has edible flowers, but I don't have coriander at the moment. Okay, so I'm waiting till next month to grow mine. Um, and so what's it called? This is how the coriander looks like. Okay, the flowers looks like. And how can you use it? Um, Coriander is also known as cilantro, which and is also known as Coriandrum sativum. Okay. Um, in summer, it is quick to bolt. Okay, and will send up to umbels of white flowers. Okay, these have intensely herbal flavor. So it tastes like herbs basically. Um, just like the leaves, roots, and seeds of the plant can be used as a garnish, where cilantro, coriander, is leaves. Cilantro leaves would otherwise be used. So you can use it the same way. Um, the way you use the seeds, and the same way you use the leaves, okay, and the stem, and all of that is the same way you will use the flowers. So personally, I use it to make my pasta sauces, and use it in my stews, whether it's dry or fresh. I also use them in my meat seasonings, and yeah, that's literally what I use them for. So I'll be looking for, and I use the seeds in my samosas. Okay, my samosas, when I'm making samosas, and things like my spaghetti bolognese as well. So I look forward to using what's it called, the flowers in that manner as well. So yeah, that is it, guys. If you like this kind of videos, give it a thumbs up. Do share, and if you have any questions to do with edible flowers, you can put it in the comment section, and you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook basically A.H.P food store, where you see loads more other edible flowers on there that you can use. At the moment, I'm adding all the all the information one at a time. So do give a few days, but at the moment, if you go on there, you will see all the edible flowers there and the different use that you can use it for, from food to your drinks as well. So yeah, that is it, guys. I shall see you in the next video. Bye.